Welcome to This Week in Warframe, the series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe, from announcements made by DE that don't necessarily warrant their own videos to community fan art, posts, and updates. So without further ado, let's go over De's announcements and news from the 12th of August to the 18th. Starting this week's episode off, we had Devstream 115. Now, some of the information that was provided in Devstream 115 we already knew due to prior Devstream's Twitter posts and forum posts, so if you want to backtrack to last week's episode as well as the week before, there's some information in there that goes over it, such as Revenant's updated kit. So first off, the Warframe soundtrack will be launching on Spotify as well as other music services soon. Don't know a date, but it is scheduled for release. Another Prime Vault will be releasing sometime in the future, with Mag and an unknown frame being part of it, and there will be the continuation of the accessories packs. We also saw a full 3-minute preview of the Nezha Deluxe skin in-game. Remember, it will be coming with accessories as well, and it is ready to ship, it just needs polish, and it will be coming out later in the year. They also touched on Garuda and when she will hopefully be releasing, and that is with Fortuna. They also touched on K-Drives and expanded some more information about them, that being that there's more tricks as they promised. You will also be able to grind when you're using your K-Drive, so doing that and the tricks will also gain you standing towards the vendor involved, and that will be a K-Drive vendor that are apparently a K-Drive gang. Upon gaining standing with them, you'll be able to buy new mods and customization pieces for your K-Drive. Now, in which the customization and appearance will be modular, according to Steve on the Devstream. However, the mod application, whether you want speed, agility, etc., going for the K-Drives, that will be static. So it is a pretty good step up from the amps, if you ask me. Also, there will be a K-Drive racetrack on Vallis. Moving on, the login reward system was talked about. We got a preview of a new work-in-progress UI piece for it. It's what you're seeing on screen. Now, upon reaching a milestone with the new system, you'll be able to choose what weapon, mod, or pack you would want from the milestone selection screen. Rebecca also tweeted out just saying that you won't be able to get all the best items within reaching 50, 100, and 150 days. You will obviously have to keep logging in. They also talked about the possibility of selecting the same milestone reward over and over in order to trade it to other players. I'm not a fan of this. It seems fucking stupid and completely negates the whole point of the login reward system. But hey, that's just me. Now moving on, they also showed more gameplay for Revenant, most of which we've seen with his new kit. But the Mask of the Revenant, which will be his quest, will possibly be coming out next week on PC. And this quest will have some interaction with Nakup, the operator cosmetic vendor. He will also arrive with his shotgun, the Phantasma, as well as an armor set that we've seen in previous concept and gameplay releases, and then his dual-handed katana that won't be launching with Revenant due to the state of Melee 3.0 and that they're working on it, so it will be delayed once again, and players will have to wait till Melee 3.0 gets out. Moving on, the Elite Alerts were a topic of discussion and showcase. So these are basically nightmare alerts. However, instead of it having random modifiers applied to your gameplay, you'll have 1 life and you'll be going up against high level enemies, with the example being shown that it's going up against level 80 to 100 enemies. And upon successfully completing it, you'll get a cosmetic reward as well as endo and some credit. Now, it isn't final, those aren't the final amount of rewards that you'll get, but that's just what we have as the moment, and basically the cosmetic rewards are a new emblem for your shoulder pad. Now, it will act similar to that of the Stratus emblem for tactical alerts, where the more elite alerts that you complete, it will go brighter and expand. And then finally, you'll have the same emblem just as an orbiter decoration. Moving on, Melee 3.0, the dev workshop that we talked about in the previous episode of the one before that, is still being worked on, and it hasn't been released yet, but it will be coming soon. The Melee 3.0 system will have new elemental particles and residual effects for frosting and flames and the other different elements. They gave us a little preview of the restore model for your energy restore, health restores, etc. It's what you're seeing on screens. We had the concept art in the past Devstream. Now we have a small little model preview of it, so that's cool. They also slightly touched on more about the Relay Reconstruction mini-event, and most of which we've covered in the previous episode going over Sheldon's tweets. but the only new information is that we'll have to bring different segments of a relay online using parts that we've built, and we'll also have access to new rooms on the relay, as well as it being a completely different relay to that of what we know at the moment. Operator loadouts have been a topic of discussion in the Devstream as well, and they are talking about it internally. However, according to Rebecca, the current state of things is that it will only be cosmetic at the moment. They also showed us a small little preview of the customization for the RailJack. It was just giving us a little work in progress shot, just saying that you will be able to customize it. They also gave us another walk around of the RailJack ship, and there was a little room that was in a work in progress state called the engine systems. I'm interested to see how that all turns out. There was also a little touch on the Hydroid Prime trailer. It has been nearly a fucking year since Hydroid Prime has released, and yeah, it's still in the same state that it was about 6 months ago, where they need the voice acting line. So unless they get fucking chopping on that, you won't be seeing that soon. The Warframe release list, they also talk about that of the upcoming Warframes. We have Garuda, which of course coming with the Vallis and Fortuna. We have a Wisp frame they touched on, a Warframe created by one of the programmers for creating Warframes, and another Warframe created by Scott. Finally, the next Devstream will be in 3 weeks instead of 2, due to holidays and whatnot at DE. Moving on from Devstream information though, we had Hotfix 23.3.2 on PC. Basically all it did was increase the scale of Vauban's heavy blade skin from his Deluxe collection. We then had update 23.4 on PC as well, which brought Framefighter into the game. In order to access it, you will need 50,000 Samara standing, and then head to his location in any of the relays and purchase it from his little store vendor. From there, you will have to place it on your orbiter, and once you do that, just interact with it and start Framefighter up. You can also purchase the Wormius and Flappy Zephyr game modes to be accessed through this new Ludoplex console. However, they do cost 25,000 standing each. There's also the option to unlock new Framefighter characters, that being your different Warframes, and in order to do so you will have to go around the star chart and scan little character data, just like the Somacore tones and Cephalon fragments, and upon doing so you will unlock the character in Framefighter. There was also new operator amp components, that being the Rahm Prism, Phahd Scaffold, and the Antpatha Brace. Now this new amp component allows for a rapid fire beam, as well as a small little grenade launching bouncing projectile. There was also the introduction of the new natural category for your dojo decorations, so if you want to customize your dojo using those, you can now do so. There was also a general addition of a HUD damage indicator for Gara's Winter Storm ability, and there's now a directional arrow decoration to place in your custom dojo obstacle course. There was also changes made to the operator amps. Your motor amp will now reflect the changes made to other beam weapons in the previous updates, and they've added 10 meters of extra range when it is gilded. The Ratplat Prism received a damage increase from 1,000 to 3,000. The critical chance has been increased from 30% to 38%. The critical damage multiplier is now 2.6, and the fire rate has been decreased from 5.4 shots per second to 2. For the Gramu Prism, the radial damage has been increased from 1,000 to 1,400. The radial size has been increased from 3 meters to 3.5, and the direct impact damage has been decreased from 1,200 to 1,000. For the Pencha Scaffold, it's added 2 meters of extra punch through, and the Claperic Scaffold has been converted just the same as the Mote Amp, with the beam changes of prior updates. As for the changes that came in the update, they optimized the Chessa Retrieve precept, and then made some micro-optimizations to the Helmet Charger and the Sahasha Kubra precepts, as well as adding a select sound when using the middle click selection in your inventory screen. As for fixes in this specific update, they're up on your screen. You can read them here, or you can check them out in the post, as everything else in this video has been linked in the description. Moving on, we had Hotfix 23.4.1 and Hotfix 23.4.2, both of which fixing issues with Framefighter, as well as expanding upon some changes. So in Hotfix 23.4.1, Cephalon fragments, Somacore tones, and the character data can now spawn all in the same mission if you have good luck. So that's a good quality of life change there. And then in Hotfix 23.4.2, capture mission capture targets now have a 1-minute bleed out timer, so if you don't collect the target, your mission will fail and you'll be brought back to your orbiter. The Phahd Scaffold also saw changes and fixes, with the projectile now being able to pass through Vault's shields. The projectile will now bounce a maximum of 10 times for both hosts and clients, and then they also fixed receiving an unintended boost to damage, critical chance, and critical damage, as well as status chance when it came to that Scaffold. So the gilded stats for the Scaffold are now 3000 damage on impact, a 5 meter, 3100 radial damage, with no damage fall off on detonation or last bounce, and it now has a knockdown added to the radial damage. The Scaffold will also have a 12% status chance, 34% critical chance, and a 2.6 times critical damage multiplier. As for the changes that came in this hotfix, the Excalibur Umbra Warframe is now instantly unlocked instead of having a character data scan. Once you complete the Sacrifice quest, the Framefighter Warframe select screen will now have all the Warframes displayed, as well as what planet you can find their character data on. And then there were fixes to the Katir Sakhara being placed on your feet, as well as fixes for the rest of the game. They're up on your screen as well. There was also a new Twitch Prime bundle available for players that have their Warframe and Twitch accounts linked together, as well as have Twitch Prime, and that is a gear bundle. So you can get 50 platinum that is non-tradable, and a 7-day affinity and resource booster. There was also the announcement that Tennogen operator accessories categories have been added to the Steam Marketplace categories, so you can now upload your Tennogen operator accessories if you want to do so. There's a whole forum post just explaining the limits and what you can do with it, so if you're a Tennogen creator, have a read of that. There's a Steam post as well as a forum post. There was also the announcement that the end of summer platinum sale for Xbox One is in effect, and players can pick up discounted platinum through the marketplace. This will run up until the 28th of August, so make use of it if you want to get some platinum. There's also the announcement that there's new Warframe fan merch available on the FanForge website, so if you want to get some fan-created stuff, go over there. During the Xbox stream on the Twitch Warframe channel, there was the announcement that there is currently no Chroma Rework going on at the moment. So for those wondering about that, yeah, there's no Chroma Rework. You also had Pablo coming out on Twitter saying that there'll be a batch donation system coming soon to dojos and other systems that need it in-game, where you can donate multiple objects. Anyway, moving on to community fan art, we only have 3 posts today, and one of which is a cool fucking Viper model created by Shrubsy, and it looks so fucking good. We then have a really old community spotlight, because I was stocking up on my Warframe archive just in case I needed images from the old days of Warframe. In doing so, I came across a community spotlight, and that was Sketch065's mini models. They made a whole fucking post around this, just interviewing him. So if you want to see some of that, it's actually really fucking cool. They're like miniature models of the items in game. And then finally, there was a dojo decoration by Sam Z, and it is the 4 Divine Beasts. So if you want to have a look at some cool dojo decorating, go ahead. The links to everything that I've talked about here today are in the description. Anyway, that concludes this week in Warframe. If you found the video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you think I can improve upon the series in any way, shape or form, leave it in a comment down below. And if you missed out on last week's episode, make sure to click the annotation on the screen, and it'll take you right to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.